You type a website address from 1996. It should be dead. Instead, the page loads. Same pixelated logo, same broken-looking layout. Nothing has changed in almost 30 years. This is the story of the original Space Jam website, built to promote the 1996 movie starring Michael Jordan and the Looney Tunes. Most movie sites from that era vanished decades ago. This one didn't. It's still online, hosted by Warner Brothers at the exact same web address. And for almost 30 years, virtually nothing about it has changed. Here's how strange this actually is. The page still offers a downloadable screensaver, built for Windows 95. The sitemap still exists, ending in a small yellow star with a caption joking about how few people work so hard to bring you so little. For over a decade, almost nobody outside Warner Brothers seemed to remember it existed. Then, in December 2010, a Reddit user brought it up in casual conversation with friends. Someone checked. The site was still live. They posted it online, purely because they thought it was funny. Within days, that single link had been clicked over 50,000 times. So why did one abandoned marketing page from 1996 suddenly explode across the entire internet, 14 years after it was built? We'll get to that. To understand why this website even exists, you have to go back further. In the early 1990s, a Warner Brothers marketing executive named Don Buckley started experimenting with the still obscure internet on his own time. By 1994, he'd built one of the very first movie websites for an entirely different film, a project so unfamiliar at the time that the film's own director reportedly asked what on earth he was even looking at. 2 years later, that same small team built the Space Jam site. Nobody involved was thinking about legacy. They were thinking about basketball, cartoons, and getting a brand new medium to somehow load correctly. Here's where it gets interesting. Most companies update or delete old marketing pages constantly. Broken links get fixed. Outdated designs get replaced. Old campaigns disappear entirely. This one simply never got touched. Not because anyone forgot about it entirely. Warner Brothers clearly knew it still existed. They just never had a reason to take it down. No cost pressure, no security risk worth acting on. No one internally pushing to modernize a page nobody was actively marketing anymore. It just sat there, quietly working, waiting for someone to stumble onto it by accident. And stumble onto it, people did, repeatedly. The original 2010 viral wave was massive enough that one tech blogger at the time estimated the site had likely drawn around 500,000 views in a single burst. But the story didn't end there. The site went viral again in later years, each time introducing it to an entirely new generation who had no idea it had ever existed before. Comments joked about accidentally overloading some ancient, forgotten server sitting in a closet somewhere. Nobody was entirely sure if that joke was actually true. Eventually, yes, and the reasoning was surprisingly simple. When the sequel, Space Jam: A New Legacy, released in 2021, Warner Brothers had every reason to finally retire the old page for good. Instead, they built the new promotional site at the main web address and deliberately moved the original 1996 version into its own preserved subdirectory. A conscious decision, not an oversight. The studio understood exactly what they had, a strange, beloved piece of internet history, and chose preservation over deletion. Low effort, high goodwill, a quiet piece of brand nostalgia that costs almost nothing to maintain, as close as anything on the internet gets. The design, the images, and the original code are still functionally the same as they were in 1996. The only real difference is speed. What once crawled over a dial-up connection now loads instantly. Everything else, the layout, the links, the download page, remains a genuine working artifact, not a recreation, not a museum piece behind glass. The actual, original site, still quietly running. Right now, that page is still sitting there. Unchanged since a year when most people reading this weren't even using the internet yet, waiting for the next person to stumble onto it by accident and wonder how something this old ever survived this long. The internet is built to constantly move forward. This one page never did. And it turns out, sometimes the most fascinating thing the internet can do is simply refuse to change.